If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what's one type of buyer that will chew through a ton of your time if you're not paying attention, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, so here's the thing you need to know is if you have a role and you take commission, you have a responsibility to help somebody fix their problems, their needs, and their issues. This is just my belief. Like if there was a rule of sales, this is like Scott's rule of sales number one. And there is going to be a time where you meet with a very specific type of buyer. So I want to line this out for you. One, genuinely nice person, okay? Awesome person. You sit down with them, you have a good time, you have good conversation. They're a lot of fun. You're having a lot of fun, but they need a lot of time, okay? So they have a ton of questions. They need constant reassurance. Okay, that's cool. That happens in sales. Number two, they have a little bit of money, and whatever that amount of money is going to get eaten up by your project. So let's just say that your project is 20 grand and they have $19,000 in the bank. So they're one, on edge to begin with because they want to make sure they make the right decision, which is fine, right? That's perfectly fine and normal. And then two, whatever project you're working on is going to eat whatever savings that they have. And so here's what happens. In their mind, there's a lot of risk. And because there's a lot of risk, they want to make sure they're doing the right thing. Okay, cool, no problem. But whenever anything goes wrong on that project, it's going to be a 1 hour phone call. It's going to be a 90-minute site visit. And the reason why I bring this up is as a salesperson, entrepreneur, nobody tells you this, or even a technician, nobody tells you this. One of the things that's going to happen, you're like, what is going on here? Why me? How come I can't get this straightened out? How come this person's putting so much pressure on me? Well, there's a couple reasons for it. One, they were worried about whatever deal that was being made. And two, you made them promises. And three, it used up all their money. So like now they're in panic mode. They're like, I bought the best way that I could. I made sure that I made the best deal that I could. And because of it, I want the best of the best. Now, this type of demand can frustrate you because it's going to seem like, hey, do you not understand? Like, there's no such thing as perfection, and I'm more than willing to fix everything that's going on. I'm going to come back. I'll take care of it. But this time component will make sense here in a second. But before I go over that, you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not the Facebook group, not the YouTube channel. Okay, so when you take a look at rejection, there's like 6 elements. There's time, energy, effort, risk, money, and reputation. And so the more that you take any of those up, if I say, hey, it took a ton of time, energy, effort, risk, and money, that's 5 out of 6 of those items, I have a higher propensity to have rejection, okay? So the same is true with a buyer. I took a ton of time with the guy, took a bunch of energy, effort, and all of my money, which is a huge risk for me. And so what will happen is that person, like, they'll get upset faster and easier. They'll get angrier faster and easier. They will get worried faster and easier. And it takes a ton of your time to coddle them. It takes a ton of time to work for them. Now, conversely, let's say that you meet with somebody and they're a person of means. Okay, they got lots of money. To them, it's just a product. It's just a good. It's a box. It's a square. And to them, they're like, hey, look, if something goes sideways, no big deal. There's always more. And so some of this is just a way that people think, and some of it is a way for you to understand that there's going to be times where you meet with a buyer, you sell a product, you sell them a good, you sell them a good service, you never see them again. And then conversely, probably like 1 out of every 50 buyers, maybe 1 out of 100, depending upon where you live. If you live in a retirement type of community, or you have an area where there's a lot of people who struggle, this may happen more often than not, especially if you're pricing on your companies on the upper end and the higher end of the scale. This is something that you need to be aware of. Right? So here is the danger for you, right? So you meet with Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones, whoever this person may be, and you get caught up in, oh my goodness, every time I talk to this person, there's a problem. Every time I talk to this person, there's a nightmare. Every time I work with this person, there's an issue. If you let that chew at you, if you let that get to you, what's going to happen is you are going to head into a sales slump. There is a potential when you have this buyer that will push you into a sell slump because you get caught up in the, oh my goodness, every time I call, there's going to be a problem, there's going to be an issue. So be aware, so that you're not like, oh my goodness, nobody ever told me this. The longer that it takes to close a deal, if the longer time it takes to close a deal and the less money that somebody has, you have a higher chance of complaints and issues when things go wrong, because they will. That's just the general rule of life. Takes a ton of time to close the deal and the person doesn't have a ton of money. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying that almost every time, every time I ran into this, it was like, oh my goodness, why me? Then I realized, hey, it's just a buyer's type, okay? But be aware so that it doesn't push you into a sell slump. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.